Hello, this is Maneesh, and I've never made a personal video before, so um, I thought I'd give it a go. So, some of you who know me closely, and some of them who might know me more distantly, um, will or won't be aware that I've had some marital issues. I just want to make this clear from the offset. This is not about um, slagging off uh, my ex-partner, uh, my wife, my girlfriend. It is just things which have gone on in my head, which may be true or may not. It's just my opinion of how I see things have gone, both in the last few weeks, the last few years, the last 10 years, going back to 20s, whatever. Basically, since I've been an adult, which being male, we never grow up. But I'll have to edit that later. Right. So, if you're after a short video, I'll just skip on to something else. So, just to briefly say that when things weren't working particularly well with my wife, and if anybody comments on this video, please don't use her name, even it's fairly obvious to most people, but I would rather that be just forget whatever her name is, and so will I, for the sake of this video. Right, now I've forgotten what I was going to say. Okay, yeah, so I left my wife because one of my customers was friendly towards me, let's say that, and we were intimate, and it was, how do I put it, fucking magic. And this girl, who has got sort of her own issues, which we won't go into, actually wanted to be with me. It's like, oh, wow. What, you want to cuddle? Yeah. What, all night? Yeah. What, like every night? Fucking hell. Wow. So, cut a long story short, I was meant to stay with her for one night, and it turns accidentally into 3 nights. And then I stayed with this particular person for 6 months, and because of issues, we've decided to separate at this point in time. Who knows what will happen in the future. Right, so that's that. Right, I had a point to my story. Just top up on the old caffeine. This is coffee. You see that? No Guinness has been harmed in the making of this video. Or barefoot. That's quite nice. So okay, right. Right, so in the last 2 weeks especially, for different reasons, I haven't been that motivated to go to work, because I'm self-employed, so I have the freedom which a lot of people probably don't have is that if I don't want to go to work, I just don't book anything. I don't get paid either. So I have taken like the last 2 weeks, maybe even three, the time just vanished, but vanished in a good way. And in that time, I've spent lots of hours actually researching relationship issues, relationship mental illnesses, or mental illnesses which can affect relationships, all for me to try and understand me, and more to the point, it was about people who were close to me in my life, or were close to me in my life. So I have been writing. So I have to take my glasses off to read. I'm getting a bit old. I wrote a thing which I just headed up 10 red flags, and I then went to write down 24 different items. So I might have to change the title. Basically, I'm not going to go into the detail because you're going to get bored silly. But 10 red flags that I have seen which have affected me. At some points it affected me so much that I've attempted suicide. I've now popping antidepressant pills like they're going out of fashion. So these are things which have affected me, and these are things which I feel someone else has done. You can make your own mind up. So basically, the first thing on the red flag list is love bombing. If you don't know what that is, it's basically at the beginning of a relationship, the other person wants to get that person locked in. So they, I don't know, maybe marry them, within like the first month, first 6 months, or even, they could, get pregnant by that person. And then, it's of course legit to then lock them down. In these early stages, because they're after getting what they want, that might be money, might be a baby, might be a 3-bedroom house in Church View, for example. Once they've got that, the early intimacy is no longer required. So you just, give a little, a few scraps here and there, just to, show a little bit, but, there's no real intimacy. You've got to give some, but, that's only, when it's sort of demanded of. Right, so point number 2 is something which I've noticed in some of my partners, is they like to overgift. By this I mean, if you do them any type of little favour and you're not their partner, you will get a box of chocolates, you will get a bunch of flowers. And why is that? It's because then subconsciously the person who received these flowers, chocolates, whatever they are, owes the other person. So it's like you got like a favour in hand, and it doesn't have to be a box of chocolates in return, but there's something owed to the other person. So expensive gifts or gifts where it's like, I don't normally give like your paper boy, a gift on Tuesday the 13th, and that's not his birthday, and it's got no connection with anything, that's just a stupid example I could think of. So yeah, and also if the person giving, of course, then to everybody else outside of the relationship, oh, she's lovely, she gave me a box of chocolates and I didn't expect that, oh, she's such a darling. Yes, she is actually, and I'd agree with you. But what happens behind closed doors when it's not quite so public, it's not quite so good. Make of it what you will. Oh, this is a lovely one. Blame shifting, number 3. I don't know whether I actually need to define what blame shifting is, but for those of you who haven't been watching endless hours of personal growth videos, basically, if I say to my partner, oh, I don't like blah blah blah, could you please leave the toilet seat up for me, she will instantly come back and blame me because I was the one that fitted that toilet seat, and so therefore it's my fault. What? Confused. Yeah, so that's just an example of blame shifting. Number 4, seen lots of this one, triangulation. I think that this jacket looks Scottish. I've asked lots of people and they all think it looks a bit Scottish, right? So I've validated whether this top is Scottish, because Bob, Joe, Billy, whoever I've spoken to, they all agree it must be Scottish. So I can go to my partner and I've got evidence, in quote, that this jacket is Scottish. And if I look at the label, it's probably made in China, so it's not actually Scottish. But because all my friends, her friends, whatever, agree with the point of view which they're portraying, it becomes right. Now I'm just going to do a quick striptease, don't worry. This Scottish jacket, which I did actually get from the Scotsman, well, it looks actually Italian to me. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Right. So, right, so that's triangulation. Another biggie, criticize. Basically, as a man, it doesn't matter what you do. If you decide for whatever reason in your head that method A is the one you're going to choose, whatever that is, plan A, method A, route A, you thought, that sounds like a good idea, and you logically thought about that, and then of course your partner, You stupid little fucker. You know, oh no, I shouldn't have said that actually, because I have to bleep that out. Anyway, you stupid person. What am I talking about? Criticising. Yes, that's right. So they would just basically say whatever you've done, it's wrong. Yeah, so you shouldn't have chosen plan A. That's obviously wrong. Are you stupid? It was, if you'd chosen plan B, this would have happened, and it's a much, much better solution. If we just rewind a bit, if I chose plan B, because I thought, logically, that sounds like, pretty good idea. I mean, I know about plan A, but I think plan B sort of feels better to me. There's no right or wrong, plan B will work, plan A will work, but I'm going to go for B this time. Are you stupid? You went for plan A. Or you went for plan B. Plan A, would have been much better. Why did you do that? The other plan is always better. So it doesn't matter which one I chose. So after a while, I think, oh, bollocks to it. I just don't care. If black is black and white is black and so is pink, yellow, well, might as well, I'm going to get criticised, so it doesn't matter. I could go out and have sexual contact with people outside my marriage. I've done that before, plenty of times. It's like, okay, If I get criticised, at least it's something I've done naughty. So, it makes me feel better that, okay, you did this. You went off and you did blah, blah, blah with different people. It's like, yeah, I know, that was dishonest. I shouldn't have done that. But at least I'm being criticised for something which even I internally think, oh, yeah, that wasn't really right, but it felt good at the time. Another biggie, number 6. Not enough time. One of the videos which I watched over the last couple of weeks talked about, well, basically, you make time. If you want to, you can always make time, But if you don't want to make time, you're always busy. So I'm not saying that people don't get busy. That's not the same. It's when they're never not busy, never switch off, never, heaven forbid, show intimacy to their partner, because no. You know that rug has been swept only 24 times in the last 5 minutes, and it must be a minimum of swept 36 times every 3 minutes. And that's important. You longing for intimacy, that doesn't matter. The rug needs to be swept. So the rug is going to be swept. So, of course, I haven't got enough time. Right, so that was number 6. Oh, number 7. Right, I might just skip a few through these. Right, belittling. Whatever the problem is, it's his fault. Doesn't matter what it is. Oh, you're so sensitive. Just because I'm trying to psychologically abuse you, you're just too sensitive, you know. Number 8, sex as a weapon. This one comes up lots of times on different videos from different people across the internet. If a partner, wants something from their husband, they will have sex with them. But once they've got what they want, then slowly, very, very slowly, not overnight, for no apparent reason, this sort of just evaporates. And, you know, it's done so sort of slowly. It's like, oh, yeah, you know, you get to the point and think, oh, yeah, we used to have sex. And it becomes a distant memory. And the reason I feel that this is done, and lots of people online also have said that it's to punish, because then the woman has the power and the control. If you do this, I'll give you a good shag. Yeah, I don't want to, but you've got to try harder, work harder, and if you do, I might, if you're lucky, give you a good shag. Right, number 9. I've just called it Mr. Perfect. I can't take credit for this one because I was totally unaware that this behaviour pattern actually existed, which is when a woman first meets a guy, they think they're 100% perfect. And I've never thought I was, but maybe my previous partners did think I was perfect. But of course, soon after, you get into a deep relationship with someone, you will always find they're not perfect, are they? They do fart in bed. They're not perfect. So, because they're not perfect, I wanted to be with a perfect person. I don't want to be with some smelly, fart-bedded person. So I'm going to shut down. So forget about the good old shag. No. Right. Number 10. Isolation. By this, I don't have many friends. I mean, I might have 200 people on my Facebook friends list. And out of those, how many of you know how many tattoos I've got and where they are and what they mean? A few of you will. A few, quite 99% won't. And it doesn't make you a friend any less. It's just not as close as the 1 or 2 friends I've got. And come to think of it, one of my close friends, I don't think he's seen my tattoo either, but that's another story. I'm divulging a bit, but basically my partner does not want me to have a close friend of any description. It doesn't matter whether they're male or female. Just basically, I have 2 friends and one's a man and the other one's not. No, the other one is a man, sorry. But my partner doesn't like them. One of them, let's say, has No, I'm not going to say. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So, yeah, my friends are not approved of. So that's all we need to say about that. Number 11. Everything's pre-decided. So if there's a decision to be made within the household, within the partnership, the decision by her has been made. She may say, "Oh, what do you think about doing X, Y, Z?" And I say, "Oh, no, that's not a good idea. Have you thought about A, B, C? Because that'll affect X, Y, Z." And and it's not quite as simple as that. You need to look at the things around. Doesn't matter. I'll do it anyway. Doesn't matter what you think. Doesn't matter. I'll just do it. If you don't, if I'm not going to listen to your point of view, because it doesn't matter. I'm just going to do it. Doesn't matter what you think. Why not send your daughter to a school which you can't afford? Just as a hypothetical sort of Millfield type question. You know what? I've just found 20,000 quid under the bench in the smoking temple. Fuck. That bit was a lie, wasn't it? Oh well. Worth a try. Right. Right. Number 12. We're on to flexibility. He needs to change this about himself. He needs to change that about himself. It's not right. Your hair's too short. Your hair's too long. You've got a stupid goatee beard. But I, as a woman, I don't have to change. I'm just me. I was born like this. But he has to change. No, there's no flexibility. I'm good as I am. But he's got issues. And he needs to change. Right. Gaslighting. And this is nothing to do with cooking appliances. This is an interesting one. I did what was known as the Leela Life training at Osho Leela last year. And this expression, gaslighting, okay, I do know how to light an oven, done that, but I know that's not what it means. And various definitions were bandied round as to what the term actually means, because it's a new, probably American expression. I don't know where it came from. And it's like, oh, I've had that almost every day for 10 years. I thought that was just normal. And it's just to explain my definition, is that I have suffered from low self-esteem, suicidal tendencies, depression, blah, 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 multiple times over my life, not just in the last 10 years, but certainly since I was an adult. And, people close to me, they know my, mental history. So what better way than to use that as a tool? Because if they push me down into depression, they're suddenly more superior to me, and I just get confused. It's like, oh